The next item is petitions or communications, oral or written, and Ms. Garrett will determine how many citizens have signed up. And I just want to remind everyone that Resolution 1394, which was adopted August 21, 2012, provides, among other things, that citizens will address comments and concerns to the chairperson, not to individual members of city council, officials, or staff. The chairperson will direct questions to specific members of city council, the city manager, and/or the city attorney for response. We have two individuals who signed up. First, Mr. Joe Reorda.
Good evening. Madam Mayor, members of council, I'm here to talk about the city council appointment, not about the appointment you made, but more or less about the procedure that you used. I conveyed to at least 4 members of this council that I was interested in the position. I talked to you 10 minutes before the meeting and I conveyed that same thought. Did you convey that to the council?
Yes, I did.
I was not considered.
The selection was made.
I understand that. Was I considered for the position?
If your name was mentioned in executive session, I can only assume people took your name into consideration.
Well, I think what was done in the executive session was made known to the public. And I think you have the authority to convey that to me if you did. Did you consider my request?
Mr. Reorda, I'm not going to be cross-examined.
I'm not cross-examining you, ma'am.
You may continue with your presentation, sir.
You have a copy of my resume,
Yes, sir.
and I think I'm qualified or overly qualified. I spoke to 4 members. They said that it was a good idea, that they would consider me. Haven't heard back from them since, which tells me that they didn't consider me. The other thing was the way it was done. One day it comes out in the Chronicle News that the mayor wants Mr. Feinberg for the city manager position. A couple of days later, you go in executive session. It must have been already determined who you were going to get. Probably didn't even discuss anybody, and I think that was kind of bad. Because I think you're here to serve the people, right, in this community, and not just the council's wishes. And you know, last week I talked about working together, and those are some of the things that work together. Even President Obama is thinking about appointing some Republicans to his staff to bring about some cohesion, some working together, whatever. I know you think I'm from the old school, and I'm telling you I'm not. I'm not connected with anybody. If you look at the record of the councils that I served on, I think we did a lot of stuff. And I think it's time that you get an old timer in here to work with the new timers or the newcomers, whatever you call yourselves. When I was the mayor, I said if you're here 60 minutes, you're a golden oldie. I have nothing against the situation. I don't want to stir the pot. I think you need some guidance from somebody that knows this community. I've been an educator for 41 years. I served in politics. I was the chairman of the Democratic Party. I've touched the lives of more people in this community than all of you put together. And so I thought that I would be the guy for the job. But obviously, you have a different idea. I don't know if you'll reconsider this or not. If you look at my resume, and the fact that I've been here long enough, I know every businessman that's been in business for 50 years. I grew up with those business people. I think the first thing we need to do is work on the economic condition of this community. I think the city planner has enough jobs. And let me tell you something. I never criticize anybody unless I walked in their moccasins. And I think I walked in your moccasins enough. 9 years is plenty. And if you look at the papers, go look at the Chronicle News. Every week there was a letter to get rid of me because I served too long, I was doing this and doing that. And of late, I've had at least 150 people said, we need you back, and I said, that's cool. When I was in, you wanted me out, now I'm out, you want me in. I guess you don't miss the shade till the tree's gone. I'd like you to reconsider this. There are lots of things I bring to this table. I know about ARPA, I know about the water condition in the North Lake. And speaking of ARPA, that's probably one of the biggest debacles that I'll take responsibility for than anything that I did during my administration. It breaks my heart, especially this time of year, to worry about those poor people that are afraid for the winter to come because their electricity is gonna. And I'd like to be in on this so that we can continue. I want to see them buried. I want to see that ARPA buried. They've been in 5 years. They haven't produced 1 kilowatt of electricity, and they're still pumping money and having a full staff in that building. That doesn't make sense. And they're going to sue us? I don't think so. So all I'm asking you is look at my resume, reconsider. If you want, fine. If you don't, I'll still support you. Believe me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Reorda. The next speaker is Mr. Ted Martinez.
Thank you. I'm Ted Martinez. And I'm here to talk about Gilda Rubio again, for the last time. But you required some documentation, which I'm about to give you. And most of this, by the way, is available on Google if anybody cares to look for it. Okay, in one instance here, in Sullivan County, he was sued by the government, federal government, for $1.2 million for some type of deal he had with the nursing home. And apparently that was agreed to be repaid. And I'll go on to the more important ones. This one here is in New Hampshire. Okay, there are 2 pages. Once again, official on leave is finalist for post in another town, or official on leave in another town. Official on leave in one town is finalist for post in another. Okay, Mr. Weatherham's selectman placed town administrator Edward De Rubio on paid leave as of May 21st. That was, I think, the 3rd time he had been placed on leave. And on that same day, he turned up as a finalist for the town of Medway. The reasons surrounding Gilda Rubio's paid leave are murky. Okay. Now, in the Boston Globe, one of the councilmen in Sullivan County said Mr. Del Rubio appears to play nice for about 3 or 4 years, and he leaves with a pocket full of money. Okay, in this case here, released December 4th, 2007. After he got rehired, which I'm glad he did not, he wound up suing the city for $47,272. And that's about it I have on. I hope this is the last we hear of this guy. He's been divisive, and he's put neighbor against neighbor, friend against friend, and enough is enough. It's time to move on. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez. Let me take a point of personal privilege here. I want to make it 100% absolutely clear that this council did not select any of the 3 finalists, including Mr. Ed Gildarubio. We are conducting a new search. I have every confidence that Mr. Miller, who is assisting us with this process, will help us find someone every bit as qualified as Mr. Gildarubio, or with qualifications that exceed those that he had. It is over, done. The ship has sailed, as my colleague, Ms. Carol Bolton, once stated. Thank you. Let's see, I think the next agenda item is reports by the city manager